Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd Live Sunday edition. How are you all doing? Hope you've had a wonderful, wonderful week, and oh my goodness, do I have a show planned for you today, guys? Before we get into it though, just to direct you guys' attention a few bits. Firstly, pinned right at the top of the live chat is my link tree right here that you can see on screen there. So if you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Stef Alter Nerd, you can do so there. Also, by all means, because I'm a full-time YouTuber now, this is my job. If you do want to send a donation my way, you can do so by, sending me a super chat or a super thanks. Alternatively, through my link tree, you can also send me a donation through PayPal, Stream Elements, and Cash App. It does guarantee that I do read your responses out. Other than that, I just choose the best ones that basically catch my eye through the normal chat. So that's that. In the meantime, though, yes, I do have a special show for you today because I'm here with a guest. Dragnot is in the
Where?
house.
Oh, hi. What's going on? What's going on? Thank you. How you been doing?
I've been doing all right. It's been a special week. How about you?
Oh, it's been a busy week in real life, but you know what? I definitely love to dedicate time to fellow YouTubers and audience members who enjoy our content. So yes, it's a nice ending to my week. I'll say that.
That'll do for me. And if you want to know where Dragnot lives, well, he does have his own YouTube channel, guys. YouTube.com/Daddy Dragnot. Dragnot, when they go onto your YouTube channel, what are they to expect?
They're to expect a lot of commentary. I like to break down anyone that I'm viewing, if they like what Nate the lawyer does, where you're actually looking at the person who brought him into the limelight as far as online communities. He and I were actually a part of the Google Plus community where we would discuss religion and science and that sort of thing. And sort of together, he and I built a lot of rapport with people who enjoyed dissecting arguments, dissecting and analyzing all types of things. And so I am the spice to the sugar that is what we like to call a dynamic duo of sorts. So if you want to hear what I think as a Creole from America about our good friend Meghan Markle here, well, you might hear a pretty interesting perspective or two. So there's that.
Interesting. Basically, you like my content, you're gonna like Dragnot's. So go on over to his channel, hit that friendly subscribe button, because as you can tell, looking at his channel, yes, he talks about Meghan Markle's bestie, Boozy, but also as well has done a lot of analysis on our Hazard and Megsy, namely the mockumentary situation. So, you know, do check those out as well. We'll be talking about that and much, much more after we go through today's topic of the day. With that being said, though, guys, before I jump into it, you know what time it is. There's always a little bit of housekeeping, so come with me on this one. 3, 2, 1. YouTube human reviewer. I see you lurking. We're not going to say any trigger words or anything that's going to offend your ear holes. And to everyone else awesome enough to have clicked on this video, hi, welcome. How are you doing? Whether you're watching live or on the replay, do make sure the first thing you do is smash that subscribe button. Help us get to 100k so we can get that silver play button right there. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories and whatever's. Also, as well, if you are watching on the replay, do send me a super thanks. It is in below this video. Let's have a conversation about what we're going to discuss because it does guarantee a response from me. I can see the support coming through already. First and foremost, wow, Mary IPOC, thank you so much for that $2.99 super chat. And it's my favourite. It's the ginger doggy. Ah! And he's like, hi, how's it going? Well, it's going very, very well. Thank you so much. Do make sure that you do keep the support coming. As we go through today's topic, I will get through to your support after we've discussed it. With that being said, though, Dragnot, are you ready, mate?
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's jump into this, shall we then? Woo! Okay, so yeah, is Meghan Markle going to use Princess Diana to get sympathy at the coronation of King Charles? It certainly looks that way. Guys in the chat, answer that question. Yeah, we'll look at those answers afterwards. An expert exclusively revealed the style hacks Meghan Markle may use at King Charles's coronation to quote-unquote protect herself. Yeah, she comes to UK, mate. It's done. It's done. It's game over. There's nothing to protect herself. The amount of times that she has disrespected us as the British people and our identity and culture by shizzing on the royal family, like, what's she expecting?
I'm trying to just figure out. So she came. She was invited. She was a part of the royal family technically after Mary Harry. She made a whole bunch of salacious claims, right? That were unfounded, but okay. Then they absconded, went to Canada, then they went to the US, and so now they're back in the UK. Maybe I'm confused. I'm just why would you go where you think you yourself say you're not welcome? I don't understand.
Right. So interesting, right? So yeah. Here we go. Royal and fashion expert Miranda Holder has commented that if the Duchess of Sussex does attend the coronation with Prince Harry, that she will have a very tricky sartorial line to navigate as more than ever before, every inch of her outfit down to her last tiny accessory will be thoroughly scrutinised. Now, to a certain extent, yes. However, what's more likely going to be thoroughly scrutinised when she comes, because I'm sorry, Dragnor, do you agree or disagree? Let me know. She's coming. She is not going to miss this opportunity to be part of the centre of the universe for that day and be part of an extremely historical event. She's coming, right?
She's coming, but Steph, I think there's something you and I have to acknowledge, and we spoke a little bit about this earlier.
Mm.
She wants her privacy, okay? Like
Oh, yeah.
that she's look wearing dressed to impress, going to a historical event, but she wants her privacy, and I think that's something we have to keep in mind here. She just may so happen to be imitating Princess Diana again, their her now deceased mother-in-law technically, but that's definitely not to garner sympathy or pity or to act as a shield any way, shape, or form. Not no, would never do that. But yeah, yeah, it's just right.
She wants that
Yeah.
privacy! Privacy, guys! The privacy!
Getting
Freaking
confused.
cow bag. Which, by the way, just as a slight note to that, leaders, the emojis have been updated. If you've not noticed, you have new updated emojis that I have invested in. There is a cowbag one, so use it and use it wisely, which basically means use it all the time. Why the heck not, right? Going back to this article then, down to a last tiny accessory, every inch of her outfit will be thoroughly scrutinised. What's more likely going to be thoroughly scrutinised is her whole body language, her face, how she's going to react to things, what she's going to say if she does say anything, especially afterwards. The rumours are that with Prince Harry's book Spare coming out in paperback, that there's going to be an extra chapter to that.
Oh.
And the extra chapter apparently will be on the Coronation.
So
we are very much ready to see her scrutinizing everything, her scanning everything, like really like taking it all in and thinking a penny conspiracy theory, whatever. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. Mm-hmm.
Well, any type of like formal event, like a ball or gala, people's outfits are scrutinized. That's just normal in any country. So I mean, it's going to happen. But since she already has a history of proclaiming that certain interactions have occurred, I think people are going to be walking around on eggshells and definitely scrutinizing her the same way that she scrutinized the entire UK. From her previous visits. So I think it would only be fair if people reciprocate the same type of treatment that she has given others last time she visited. But
Wow, good points. Apparently, though, according to this Miranda lass, Meghan outfit needs to be well planned. Visual representation of the PR message that she wishes to portray, which, in other words, is victim, victim, we want our privacy. Victim, 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 we want our privacy. I went a little bit like Cartman South Park, but I always do when I say those words because, South Park is freaking like awesome now in my mind.
yes.
After that episode of the Worldwide Privacy Tour. But yeah, do you think that she is that like epically narcissistic that she's really going to go all in this outfit to be like, I want to look good, but I also want it to send a message, a brand, that kind of thing? Do you think she's that into it or not?
So I would be led to believe that. There was an article that come out, I want to say sometime last week, from someone, a reporter of sorts, that spent some time around her in the past, and they had stated essentially that she has this view of reality that isn't connected to the reality that we all live in, and she needs to be the center of it. She thinks that she is a social climber, I think was the phrase used. And so if she has sort of tapped into Diana in the past by mannerisms and through her attire, then definitely this is a historic event. This is another opportunity to sort of feed into that. And this is sort of also what I've been told by her sister Samantha, that this is yet an avenue essentially for Meghan to feed into that narcissism. So I would hope that she would not capitalize and sort of co-opt this historic event just to feed her ego. But I mean, the precedent's already set. Mm.
True. And oh my goodness, Red Squirrel, just to interrupt, that is so funny. This is the MVP comment right now, guys. Can anyone beat this? Red Squirrel has said large candles are being bought as we speak for the coronation.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Do you understand the reference to this, Dragnot?
Large candles, is that to light her on fire? Is that, or is that
No, no. So, look back on it. Actually, do you know what? I'll see if I can send you a picture of it right now.
is it a
This
version of large
was
candles?
funny as hell. I think I found, yeah. I'm gonna send you on Twitter. I'll send you it on Twitter.
Okay.
An article.
See, now I'm curious. Uh-oh.
Basically, right, at Queen Elizabeth II's funeral, the
Mm.
way that Meghan Markle was positioned, where she was sat at Westminster Abbey, there was a candle right in front of her, so that when the camera panned over the royal family that was sat there, she was obscured by the candle.
Oh wow. Okay, yes.
You
I'm
can't
seeing.
make that shit up, I'm telling you.
You know what? That I'm looking at it.
Right?
That
Hence,
is
when
hilarious because you can see Harry.
yeah. Yeah. Perfect, right? Hence, when you watch the South Park episode and they're walking down the aisle and they're walking past a candle, that's what it's referencing. That moment
Okay.
right there.
Well, you know what? I think they're going to need a wider candle because her head is definitely inflated since the last time she's been to the UK. So there's that. That's just me. That's just me.
Totally. So going back to this article on our commentary. So Red Squirrel, thank you so much for that message, mate. That was MVP comment of the moment so far, absolutely. King Charles is planning, of course, a pared back ceremony for the coronation. So what that means is there's not going to be, well, there's still going to be a shiz ton of money spent on it, but not as much as it could have been. He is very much in favour of a slimmed down monarchy, a monarchy that's worth its value for the taxpayers. Because Dragnot, if you don't know, we as taxpayers partially fund the royal family
Yes.
in terms of like the upkeep of the castles and all that.
Mhm.
And so he's very much in favour of slimming down the monarchy, so not as much money is spent on the royal family, particularly those that don't add really that much value to the British public, which I am all for. Absolutely brilliant.
Mm.
Um,
I can think
but
of a few.
yeah, however, because he's looking at paring it all back and doing a quote unquote budget coronation as such, not really going to be much budget about it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We don't know how this will affect the other royal women in terms of, you know, what they're going to wear. Are they
Mm.
going to wear the most expensive things, or are they going to reflect the king's desire to, you know, lessen the royal spending and all that malarkey? Now,
Mm.
my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, is that Meghan ain't going to give a shiz and she's going to go in, guns blazing, with the most expensive, ostentatious freaking Dior outfit that you could probably think of.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think that anybody's desires or wishes are going to sort of mitigate her desire to be in the limelight and to be the best that she can be. Now, if it came out of her own pocket or something that she earned or whatever, that would be different. Then she can do, you know, whatever the hell she wants. But, you know, I know it's odd to me that it's an insult to injury that she can insult the same institution that's now affording her the opportunity to, you know, sort of pick out, even if it's a slim back or budgeted version, it's still more than most of the average taxpayer would be able to provide for themselves should they just go to a ball or a gala in their local area. So reasonable person would say, you know what? Let me see what the budget is for some of the other ladies, and let me try to find something within, I guess, £1,000 more or less than what they're doing. I think a reasonable person would probably say that, but Meghan, everything but reasonable. So,
Yeah, because for me, opinion conspiracy theory, whatever, it's like there's this competition with her and Princess Catherine. You know, not that Princess Catherine's competing with her because there's no fucking competition, but in Meghan's mind, I believe that there is. And so it's like she needs to go there and she needs to outshine Princess Catherine, and anything less is a failure. The thing is, though, she could dress in freaking diamonds and we'll still be like, when are you gonna go back to Montecito, you cowbag? What time is your plane leaving? Like, we're just not going to be there for her at all.
well,
Um, do you
could
know
do
what I
a
mean?
compromise, Steph. How about this? She could perhaps get a dress that's a little bit less expensive than the one she wants, and then she can fly back home first class. I think that's an appropriate sort of compromise. Oh no.
The only compromise is she just still come. It's the day of freaking Prince Archie's birthday anyway. She could be like, you know what? I'm gonna stay in California, Prince Archie's birthday, and Azza can go, and that's it. But she won't do that. She won't do
Yeah.
that. Um, if anything, I don't know if you've heard this one, but one of the other demands is that on the day of the coronation,
Mhm.
to have a birthday party for Prince Archie. I
It's
shiz
not
you not. That is what is being reported. Yeah.
what? It's
Yeah.
it's okay. So
Yeah.
it's is it actually Archie's birthday on the same day? Is
Correct.
it correct? Okay, so what's stopping her from having a get together after the coronation? I
Or
get. I mean,
before.
or
Before
before.
or
It
after.
just so the coronation needs to be interrupted, or there needs to be like an intermission in the midst of it in order to so she can have a birthday party for a toddler. Oh, okay. Well, that's definitely not conceited at all. Oh, cool,
No,
cool. Yeah,
no,
let's.
not at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Bearing in mind that last year for Prince Archie, Prince Harry wasn't even there. He was playing freaking polo or something along those lines.
Mm,
Oh, but this year they have to. They have to celebrate Prince Archie's birthday. There has to be a nod to it on that particular day, on the same day as the coronation. Even though he's 4 freaking years old, you have the birthday before or after, he ain't gonna notice. He ain't gonna even know.
he's not going to remember.
They're
I
not gonna
mean,
even remember it exactly. It's insane. But yeah, they want a birthday party on the same day as the coronation, which, there's enough going on with the coronation to have a freaking birthday party with balloons and freaking petting animals and everything else in between. It's like, shiz the freaking bed if that's true. They definitely need the Reds examining. So,
ah,
from what we've just discussed, the fashion expert does agree with us that historically, royal women, when it comes to attending the coronation, would absolutely be kitted out, in the finest dresses. It would be an absolute spectacle. However, with the current new modern monarchy and the way that King Charles wants to take it in a particularly different direction, that we're expecting them to be less ostentatious. Still very much like, wow, don't they look beautiful? But they're not going to be dripping with diamonds.
yeah, that's
Yeah?
maybe pearls instead, but you can
Maybe pearls
still.
instead, yeah.
I mean, just you can show refinement and class and dignity, through your actions, through your movements, right? Through just there's so many ways that one could show that. But I think because I get certain people have an obsession with simply how they appear, what they can put on their body, that maybe that's supposed to, I don't know, compensate for their lack of actual class or charm. Mm.
Mm. Well, according to Miranda, she is hoping that we somehow do get to witness and marvel at another Kate Tiara moment, which is another kind of demand that's been reported from the Sussex side, that Meghan wants to wear a tiara. Oh,
Why?
yeah. Megsy wants a tiara. She wants a tiara. And she wants the one that she wants. Yeah. Not the one that's
Oh,
just given to her. She wants her pick, of course. Yeah, that again is what's being reported. But you know what? Screw her. I want Princess Kate to wear a tiara, and I don't want Megxie to wear a tiara. It's as simple as that. She's not a working royal. She left the royal family, just like Prince has her. They
Right.
should not have that right to the perks of
So
wearing the
if
family jewels go away.
a tiara, what does that specifically represent? So, as an American, does the people with specific titles get to wear tiaras, or is it just a piece of just jewelry that's expensive?
So
Because what I'm trying to figure out is I don't remember her having such a demand or seeing a picture of her with a tiara in the past. So why does she now want to wear a tiara that would inevitably draw more attention to her when I've been told time and time again that she wants privacy? And so I'm just so confused overall.
So tiaras traditionally are a sign of marriage,
Mm,
but they've also morphed into, how do I put this, like a status symbol.
mm, okay.
So it's not just like tiaras in the royal family, for example. There are tiaras in quote unquote normal families as well that are passed down from generation to generation. So, for example, Princess Diana, she's like the most famous example of it. Her family, before she was married into the royal family, did have a family
Okay.
tiara, and it's called the Spencer tiara. And that was passed down from generation to generation, and
Like
she
a
wore
heirloom.
that tiara for the wedding. And so tiaras, they're much they're associated much more to royal families, of course, but there's also association with like the proper upper class, the upper echelons, right, of
Gotcha.
society, um, where not only is it like a symbolism for like being married, but it's also like a status symbol as well.
Hmm. So someone who had their who doesn't want their royal title or royal role wants a status symbol associated with royalty. Do
Correct.
I understand that? Okay.
Yes,
I see. I see.
allegedly.
Supposedly. Okay. All right, cool.
You
We'll
can't
go with
make this shit up. I'm telling you. Uh,
that. All right,
it's
sure.
it's insane. Now, so the thing is, again, the article explains that because she has exited the royal family, she ain't wearing a tiara. It is as done as that. She's no longer a working member of the royal family, so she is not entitled to wear a tiara. Now, what will she wear? This is coming on to the point where, as desperate as she is at this point, Meghan Markle may now try and use Princess Diana to garner sympathy at the coronation.
Ugh.
That's going to backfire on her immensely, and I will explain why in a moment. But in terms of other pieces of jewellery, the article says she could be wearing items that previously belonged to the late Princess Diana. Miranda suggested this is always an easy way to curry sympathy and favour with the public, as it reminds us of Prince Harry's traumatic past. Now, I think Miranda's forgetting the mockumentary where they literally, I don't know if you saw this, but they literally tried to say that Megxie is Princess Diana in terms of how the press is apparently treating her this, that, and the other.
Yeah, I did. I watched the Netflix special thing. I watched it 1.5 times, and so I noticed like the second half of it was focused on really trying to galvanize in the minds of the viewers that essentially Meghan Markle is like current day Princess Diana because of how the media has criticized her, and it wasn't working. I think they spent maybe 3 or 4 episodes just trying to do that, and I wasn't convinced. But because she is a poor man's emulation of Diana, I think that it comes off as very disingenuous, and because uh, she doesn't have the class, doesn't have the education, doesn't have the report, there's so many other aspects of Diana's personality that she's missing. It just seems as though she's poking essentially a corpse that doesn't represent Diana. that the essence of who she was and who she really was as far as what she meant to people. But in relation to Harry, I think that's what she is trying more so to get at, is that if I can remind you of the trauma that you experienced with your mother, then you'll cling to me and defend me, right or wrong.
Yeah. But the thing is, every time she tries to invoke Princess Diana, it backfires on her because we
Yeah.
turn around and we say, "You're not Princess Diana. Now, the press has not treated you like Princess Diana." No way. Princess Diana was hounded, stalked every single moment, every single day to the point where it drove her to like near lunacy, right? Craziness.
Yeah, I mean, Princess Diana, I don't. She took vacations, but even on vacations, she had to politely ask the paparazzi, "Hey, I'm here with my sons. Please stop." Just and then she was very polite about it. She did abscond to another country or two, from what I recall. But it's just there's so many dissimilarities between what happened to Diana versus what's happening to Meghan Markle that I mean, you'd have to be a blind man or woman not to notice. But hey.
You know? And the thing is, it's like we we know there's not a freaking camera that is stationed outside their home every single moment of every single waking day, right? And if anything, allegedly, after the announcement that Lilibet and Archie were to be addressed as Princess and Prince, okay, she then goes out, doesn't she? Out to California and there's a camera that's there, there's a paparazzi that's there, and allegedly she called that paparazzi to let her know where she was going to be so she could get photographed.
That doesn't surprise me in the least.
Ah,
Does not surprise me. You remember in the interview that she had with Oprah, and Oprah asked about royal titles, and it's something I keep going back to is that when Oprah's asking her, you sort of, hey, you know what, what about your children? We want to do what's best for our children. She made it about herself. She said, "Oh, I've worn many hats in my life, you know." And it's like, well, no, no, no. We're not talking about you. You're an actress. That's fine. You come from a privileged life. If your children are actually royalty, they should be afforded what is owed to them, you know, minus you being a detriment. But she made the whole thing about herself. And I found that to be like the most fascinating aspect about her, is because she really can't seem to understand other people's roles in the world. It's just you only exist to live in her orbit.
yeah. Stephanie Gentry has been a leader for 1 month. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for your support as always, honey. She says, "Hey up, Steph. Hey up, Stephanie. Thanks for the stream. I don't see how she's like Princess Diana. I'm not convinced. She's also not being treated the same as Diana." Yeah, that is exactly what me and Dragnar are saying. Like this, this whole obsession of I'm just like Princess Diana. Please like me. Please like me. Please like me. It's like that desperation. You can see well through it. It's insane. No matter what she does, if she continues to absolutely badmouth, throw under the bus with Prince Harry, the royal family, and the British public, no matter what
If
she tries to do to rehabilitate her image, it's
I
just
don't
not going to
understand.
work.
If she doesn't like the UK, if she doesn't, like, being British or anything about it, and if she doesn't like the institution, the monarchy, then why continue to associate yourself with it? Why continue to make these demands of a place that you say is not welcome, that's racist, that don't want you, don't like you? And that's what makes me think it's bullshit. But some of us who have actually, excuse me, sorry, YouTube checkers of bad words, but it's it's when I've experienced like actual racism in real life, I don't want to put myself in that same scenario again because I don't like it. And so again, if this is what people turn head at, because it's like you're just sort of crying wolf when we know that there's no wolf here, there's no evidence for it. But hey,
Hmm.
uh,
Yep. Um, And maybe if we do have the time in the future, Dragnar and myself might do a video. I do have an idea that's just popped through, so I'll talk to you about it afterwards and see if
yes,
if,
ma'am,
if you
yes,
might be
ma'am,
interested in the whole racial dynamics of
yes.
Meghan Markle. I think that would be an interesting topic for us to discuss as a
I would love
pre-record.
to say.
In the meantime, Miranda has said that Meghan's style has relaxed since returning to the US, and the stiff formal pieces, which never really suited her, have been shrugged off in favour of a natural, cool California style. Now, to be fair, while she was in the royal family and she was dressed up and wearing those dresses and those suits and everything, actually, I thought she looked really, really good. She looked really, really nice.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
regardless of what, she will say now, the British press, actually, there was a large period where we absolutely loved her. We loved her.
Hmm.
She was more popular than Princess Catherine. We thought she
Yeah,
was
at
more stylish at one point than Princess Catherine. Everything that she wore, we wanted to emulate, we wanted to copy. We absolutely loved it.
right.
So I think she suited those kinds of dresses and suits and all that lot. And to be fair, her liking the whole relaxed, cool California vibe, yeah, she likes that. But let's call a spade here. Let's call it 100. She likes the bougie, bougie, bougie.
Oh, of course, of course. It's like if you have the opportunity to have kind of the cool, calm, and collected look versus, I don't know, uh, royal, right? Let me go more with the regal because I can always go back to what I've known and what's comfortable. But given the opportunity, sure. I don't like suits. I don't like even when I used to wear a uniform in the army, what, they look nice, but they're hot. But given the opportunity, I want to look regal. Who doesn't? So I
Right?
understand.
And so will Meghan incorporate some of her California free spirit kind of style into the coronation outfit? And the fashion expert says, as we suspect as well, probably not. If the Sussexes do attend, it will be in full trepidation and they'll dress to protect themselves accordingly. On previous state occasions, such as the Queen's Jubilee, Meghan was in full sartorial armour, wearing immediately cut super brands such as Dior, which literally shield her from the critic's eye. I don't get that. She wore all black. They all wore all black. She wore a hat. They all wore hats. This whole thing of, she was in full armor at the Queen's funeral. No, not
Maybe
really.
I've been reading a little bit too deep into what she was doing, probably, but it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And despite her more relaxed, like Californian style, she has always, as we've just said, had expensive taste, enjoyed the very, very best of haute couture French design, so that she could be the elite. She
mhm,
could emulate that because the more expensive the outfit, the more designer the outfit, the more elite, right? That you
yeah,
feel. And she wants the best so that she can feel like she's in the elite. But guess what? A little bit of breaking news here. She ain't in the freaking elite. The elite freaking can't stand her. Oprah, where's Oprah? She's freaking bogged off. She's completely distanced herself. She's done. All of Hollywood's laughing at her. And Prince has her. They don't want anything to do with them. They're done.
well, don't tell her that. I think in her mind, they're just sort of taking a break because of other pressures and stuff. I don't think that she could actually comprehend that people don't like her as a person.
Mm.
So I think that may be the big disconnect here.
Yeah. The reality of what Meghan Markle's living in. Fascinating, guys. Fascinating. But Miranda has suggested that Meghan could wear an American designer as a symbol of her new loyalties. Perhaps a very symbolic gesture would be to wear a leading American designer rather than a European one, as that this will signify her new allegiances to her homeland, but we will see. And you know what? If she wears an American designer, okay, fine. We don't claim her as our own. America, you can have her. Keep
Yeah.
her! Keep her! We don't want her back! You can keep her all day long. We don't. No, we're Gucci. We're Gucci.
No, we're gonna
Talia.
ship her to Canada. No, we're in talks right now with Canada to send her back up there. So
But you know what? We would have just a tiny modicum of respect for her when she comes over for the coronation. Because it ain't an if, it's a when, guys. and she wore a British designer.
Mm.
Now that would be like, okay, all right,
Could you?
Mexi, all right.
But would it come across as pandering though? After all that she's done and said, would it be? Would people sort of interpret that as maybe her trying to pander?
Potentially, potentially. For some people, you know, Meghan can't do right at all. On
Fair.
this channel, as a lot of alter nerds will have noticed, are they my favourite people in the whole wide world? Oh, hell no. But I have done quite a few videos where I've actually defended them.
Hmm. Yeah. So that.
Because, you know, at the end of the day, you've got to keep things 100. You've got to keep things on an even keel. There are times where actually, yeah, they are in the right or they do need defending. The most recent one was the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and the potential that they could actually have been quite literally financial victims.
Yeah.
There's nothing to gloat about that. There's nothing to be like, oh, yay, they've finally got their just desserts. Well, yeah, karma's karma at the end of the day, but you still wouldn't want to be a financial victim no matter who you are, right? Especially when literally millions of dollars are on the line here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think Oprah lost what 650 million from that. I
That
think.
apparently, yeah, yeah, that was on the line. Unless she was a depositor rather than an investor, then that will 100% be protected.
Hmm.
That's what Biden eventually brought out then a couple of days later after the collapse of said bank. Uh, but yeah, I kept things 100. So, you know,
Hmm.
for me, if she actually, when she comes to the coronation, if she actually dresses up in a British designer, and specifically one that isn't well known, one that could use the leg up, one that could use the press, right? Something to use her status for better or for worse for good. I'd be like snaps to her.
Hmm.
I'd be like
That
fair enough.
that
Because
could
the
you know.
one thing that you have to all kind of understand is that for better or for worse, Megxie and Hazard do have a platform. They are
Yeah.
known globally, right? And I've always said this, instead of using all their freaking time to bash the royal family, do charity. Focus more on the Archewell Foundation. Because last year it's reported that they only did 1 hour a week on the Archewell Foundation. That's
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah? Yeah? They did more hours freaking doing the interviews and the podcast and the mockumentary and the freaking book, completely backstabbing and throwing the royal family and the British public under the bus. Stop
Look,
that. Focus more on the charity. Use your position in this world and your status for good. And that might actually turn things around for them. Just a sneaky feeling. You know what I mean? What do you think to that?
yeah, I did hear about that, the 1 hour a week, and I was like, so what are you doing with the rest of your time? You guys don't have 9 to 5s. I mean, yes, you have 2 children, but there are plenty of women that you and I know that have 2, 3, 4 children, and they also have part-time jobs, but or they are full-time homemakers, but they have side business. There's so many other people that that don't have this leg up in life and these resources that are doing so much more with their time. And it's like I don't understand how they could do so little but require everybody else around them to do so much. But again, I wasn't born in a lap of luxury or privilege, so maybe that's the disconnect here.
Potentially. Now, colours. What
Mm.
colour could Megxie be wearing to the coronation when she comes? Well, Miranda, the fashion expert, has an opinion on that as well. The colour white. In terms of colours, my money is on Meghan wearing white to the occasion. Now, Jognot, when you think
Mm.
of the colour white as a fashion situation, wearing it as clothing, what do you think that symbolises and signifies for you?
So, my loose understanding of fashion, white is to represent purity, right? Purity, chastity, that sort of thing. And so, if you want to give off the sense of innocence in some way, shape, or form, then you would want to wear white, typically. So, that's again my very loose understanding of fashion.
Yep. And innocence.
Mm,
Innocence, right? It's that
yes.
whole thing of, you know, I'm as white saying is as white as snow, right?
Hmm.
No, nothing on me. Yeah, I'm innocent. I'm good. I'm pure. I'm this. I'm that. You shouldn't be treating me as the villain because actually I'm the princess. I'm the good person. Blah, 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 right? It's like, that's why brides wear white traditionally in Western culture because, again, it signifies their innocence. It signifies their literal purity. I mean, back in the olden times, brides were virgins, right? And so wearing white meant that you were a virgin. If you weren't a virgin, you weren't allowed to wear white at your wedding. It had to be cream or an off color for something like that. And so, yeah, if Meghan wears white, that is just going to be such an obvious kind of desperation.
Mm.
It's like, please treat me as innocent. I'm the victim. I'm a victim. Please treat me as innocent. I'm a princess. I'm whiter than white. I'm so whiter than snow. There's no flakes on me. Blah blah blah. You shouldn't be treating me as the evil princess. Blah 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 blah. Wah. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
good luck. Yeah, I'm sure the media is definitely going to tune into that and go, you know what? She's wearing white. That's, ABC based on me. Like, see, we can't. It's a force field of sorts, right? That's how that works.
She'll be torn apart. She will be torn apart for that. And then the final bit of the article says that Miranda explained that while wearing white is a style hack that she's relied on time and time again during a difficult time as a working royal, white evokes peace and purity, helping to position her as an innocent bystander amidst the chaos, what we've just explained there. So Meghan could opt for the peaceful shade for her difficult appearance. She does that, she will be taken apart.
Yeah. But
She will. Because then what'll happen is we'll be like, yeah, she's wearing white, she's innocent. No, she's not innocent. And we will literally drag her on everything that she has said and everything that she has done against us and the royal family and all her lies and her distorted realities.
yeah.
We will totally drag her on and be
Yeah.
like, innocent our backsides.
Yeah, but then she's going to become a bit because now that's going to be a controversy. Oh, here we go. They're still messing with me. I wore white. I was being a nice guy. I was being a good girl this time, and they're still see. This verifies that there's a bias against me. Not that it was comeuppance for the slanderous things that I've said about UK culture, royal family, so on and so forth. Nothing to do with that. But they're just big old meanie heads. So yeah, that's why.
And I see your super chats. Do keep them coming through. I will get to them after we have finished today's main topic of the day, which is quite shortly. So yes, keep the super chats coming through. It does help support me and this channel, so I can continue what I'm doing full time as a YouTuber now. Yay! However, in terms of Catherine, the Princess of Wales, she'll most likely go for blue or red and don a regal outfit that harmonises with the pomp of the day. Whatever Princess Catherine wears, she's gonna knock it out of the park, and she's just gonna win. She's just gonna win because ultimately she knows how to play the game.
Yes. Yeah. Not everyone can do that well. Not everyone
No.
can do that. And obviously you have to be introspective, as well as circumspective to understand that. And I think because Meg can't really do the introspection part, that's probably where she's running up against reality, right? And so you have Princess Catherine in contrast, who is able to understand herself and everything around her. And so, you know what? Let me make the correct moves for the desired result.
Right. And the thing is, as well, is that, how do I put this? You cannot say that you want privacy, but then pick and choose. You
Yeah.
cannot control the media. You have to work with them. You cannot try and dictate them, which is what Megxie and Azza are trying to do. And that's where one of the points that they failed on.
Yeah.
Whereas,
I think
that's why I say Princess Catherine knows how to play the game. Because when you marry into royal family, it's not just any family. It's called the firm for a reason. And the royal family have a symbiotic relationship with the press and the British people.
Yeah.
And so when, for example, you turn around and you say, right, Prince Archie is born, but you then don't go out on the steps afterwards outside the hospital to present Prince Archie to the rest of the world, bearing in mind that he's like fourth, fifth in line to the throne, right?
So it's
Like
tradition.
every other female royal family that's high up has done, and you say no to that tradition because ultimately, because the taxpayer, all us as taxpayers pay into royal family. When there are big events like that, we want to be in on that as well. We're akin to investors, right? We're like investors of the royal family. So when there's
Exactly.
big moments, we want to be a part of that as well. We want to see that. And we're
It's
not
giving
saying we
back.
need to be in the freaking delivery room because, sorry, that just ain't going to happen no matter what. And that's fair enough. But
But it's
like
just a
Princess Catherine's
gesture.
done, Princess Diana's done, and the rest, you afterwards go out on the steps, present Prince Archie, and then go back in. But there was a secrecy on which hospital she was at one point. We didn't know. We didn't know anything at all. And it was only like a week later or something ridiculous like that that they then, present Prince Archie to the world. And then when it came to the christening of Prince Archie, usually as they're walking into the chapel, there's a couple of pictures so we can be a part of that. And then, afterwards there's a few pictures. But again, she tries to control it, she and Prince Harry. And
Yeah.
so the access is even more limited. And we're like, are you shizzing us? You're living in the royal palaces, you're having the royal life, partly because of us, because we're investors, we're taxpayers, money is partly going to you. And you're then going to dictate even more our access and the culture of how it all works. You're trying to change that. You can't.
No, because you notice she wants to imitate members of the royal family, in particular, a lot of the women who have status, who have class, who have style, but she doesn't want to imitate the sacrifices and the compromises and the efforts that these ladies actually put in as a part of their official roles. And that's something I've noticed. She wants to sort of leverage, the greater parts of that role and even extend what little control she does have. But when it comes to giving back, to doing her part, no, she's just not going to. And I think that's the mentality of someone who's entitled, someone who is spoiled, and it represents what we've heard from family members and people that have known her, that she's not really in tune with having to not get her way 100%. And that's
Yeah.
unfortunate as an adult.
Yeah. And, you know, when you marry into a literal culture, a different world, a family, you cannot then say, right, I'm going to change something that's fundamental to this culture overnight. You can't do that, especially with something like the royal family. A lot of it is incremental changes.
Yeah.
And what she tried to do, opinion conspiracy theory, whatever, was a change that was going to be an entire shock to the system. And you just can't do that.
No,
You
no, she
cannot
could have.
do that.
I have an alternative. So let's say, first child is born. Okay, hey, let's present stuff like that. She talks to some of the other ladies. She talks to Kate. Hey, you know what? Is this really a necessary tradition? Is it something that you do? Maybe we could just do maybe a televised version because I don't feel comfortable with doing just bringing a child out in public. Would that be acceptable? And then from there, you have the okay from other people. Hey, you know what? We can keep the tradition, but we can also have a little compromise here. And it's still, you're not shafting the very people who are funding your existence.
Right.
And so that's I think, a more than acceptable compromise that the British people will say, yeah, it's not classic, but we're in the age of technology. Let's use it and let's keep the tradition running, but implement just small minor changes. And so, such a better idea than just saying, screw it, I don't want to.
Yeah. Now, compromise would have been okay, but it was like her way or the highway, Prince Harry's way or the highway. And this whole kind of narrative that, Meghan Markle is the mastermind behind the scenes, pulling the strings, controlling Prince Harry, this, that, and the other. I don't believe that. I think they're two peas in a pod. I think he's as bad as her, she's as bad as him.
Mm.
He's co-signing absolutely everything with full knowledge of the facts, with full consciousness, everything. Do you think that, or do you think a little bit differently?
I kind of have a soft spot for Harry. I think that she is using the memory of Diana to really to goad him into doing things that he may have not already been keen to do. I think that he is an adult. He is fully cognizant of what he does, but I think that there's a growing or a festering wound from his traumatic experience with his mother and her death that she is utilizing and spreading like cancer. And so, so while I do think that yes, he's aware, I think that she is specifically manipulating him to a greater degree than what many of us see. But I think that remains to be seen. I want to learn a little bit more about Prince Harry and sort of refine what I believe is happening, since obviously none of us know them in person.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, ultimately, question for today's main topic for the live stream is Meghan Markle going to use Princess Diana to get sympathy at the coronation? Well, based on her style choices, she may do so, in terms of wearing maybe something, jewellery that Princess Diana had worn in the past. Or I think actually she'll go one step further and try and copy and emulate an outfit that
Oh,
Princess Diana had worn.
well, she's done that before,
She has done
so I
it
mean,
before.
yeah.
I do feel that she may do that again, and it'd be a double whammy: the jewelry and an outfit inspired by Princess Diana. Either way, do you guys think that would work if she did wear something that was reminiscent of Princess Diana and or a piece of jewelry that was belonged to Princess Diana? Do you think you would sympathise her more if she did attend the coronation with something like that? Do let me know if you are watching on the replay in the description down below. Everyone else that's watching the live chat, answer that question in the live chat. With that being said, everyone watching on the replay, if you liked this video and you want more, and if you're watching live, if you like this video and you want more and you haven't done so already, then do make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe. Help us get to 100k so we can get that silver play button right there. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's on the main topic of today's live stream, which is Meghan Markle going to use Princess Diana to garner sympathy at the coronation? And if she does, do you think she would get that sympathy? Hint, my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. Hell no. Also, as well, if you are watching on the replay, do send me a super thanks. It is in the video down below, because let's have a conversation about it. It does guarantee a response from me. Also, as well, if you loved what was coming out of Dragnaught's Gob, and why wouldn't you? And then do make sure you head on over to his channel, youtube.com/Daddy Dragnaut. Dragnaut, when they go onto your channel, what are they to expect, mate?
Oh, they expect to see a lot of Mr. Christopher Boozy, because he and I are going to go at it. Nate is a real life buddy of mine, and I am definitely going after him with both barrels. But I also have a lot of commentary on the royals, and so some of what I think is going on with Harry and Meghan, and a specific viewpoint from an American, someone who is mixed race, who's Creole, and what I see from Meghan as far as some of her claims when it comes to racial discrimination, so on and so forth. But I also do some commentary on certain pop culture topics. As you see there, there's something about Will and Jada and Chris Rock. And so I will be expanding my repertoire more into the future as I sort of get more ingratiated into this community, because I have lots and lots of opinions and dissections.
And there we go. So, yes, again, go on to youtube.com/Daddy Dragnaut and subscribe to him today. Alter Nerds assemble. Let's support this dude, because he's my kind of people. He's awesome. He's lovely. Says it as it is. Don't sugarcoat shiz. Guys, you like what comes out of my gob? Come on. It's a no-brainer. Go on over and help support me, buddy. With that being said, everyone that's watching on the replay, thank you so much for joining. Everyone that's live, hey up, guys! How y'all doing? We did have a couple of super chats that came through and some support, so I'm going to go through that now. Fortune Cookies Tarot by Annabelle. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, saying thanks for all you do, Steph. Well, thank you so much. And another super chat from Fortune Cookies Tarot by Annabelle, saying that was supposed to be a fiver. It is a fiver. It's $5. That's still a fiver. That's all
Yeah.
right. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Thank you so much. Also, as well, Shiz the Bed, Jeffrey Crownwell just did a little bit of a mini gifting war with himself. Yes, gifting out, looking at this, 3 leaderships for our Sal, Audrey Hudson, and also the shamanistic unicorn Tam. So Jeffrey Crownwell, thank you so much for bolstering up the leadership ranks there. That's very, very kind of you, my friend. By all means, those that have been gifted leaderships, it's only for 1 month and then it ends. So do consider actually carrying it on yourself, because you do get access to the badges, the exclusive emojis that have just been updated and replaced the past 48 hours-ish. Yes, there's cow bags, there's Gucci's, and there's so much more. So if you want to take part and use those fun emojis, then make sure you consider joining today. Also, as well, you also have exclusive access to once a month leader-only streams. Yes! We had one for March a couple of days ago, which was so much fun. So if you don't want to miss out on April's one, consider joining today. Smash that join button. It's $4.99 a month. Same for everyone. For less than a cup of coffee that you can get at Starbucks, you can get so much more from me. So why not? Helps me out, helps the channel out, helps support me so I can keep on going, giving you the content that you love, which at the moment, for me, is Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. I love it, you love it. It's all Gucci, right, mate? Also, as well, Ms. M, thank you so much for that wonderful $2 PayPal, saying, hi, Steph, great stream with Daddy Dragnot today. Love you. Oh, I love you too, honey. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the shout out for Daddy Dragnot as well.
Yes.
Hope to have him back. I
Oh,
already,
yeah.
I already have an idea for our potential next video.
Hey, if the people want me back, you want me back, I will come back. Hey, if they sign up for your membership, I'll even come on your members only stream shirtless. How about that?
Why the hell not? Do you know what? Let's try and see if we can get to 5 new leaders today for this stream. So we've already got 3, thanks to Jeffrey Crownwell. We need 2 more. 2 more to smash that join button to get to 5 leaders. And yeah, if we get to 5 leaders for this stream, how about we do a video next week, if you've got the time, where we discuss the alleged racism against Meghan Markle from your perspective. How does that sound?
I like it.
Yeah?
I like
Yeah?
it.
All right. So, if you want that video next week, we need 2 more of you to smash that join button. Join as leaders today, and we'll sort that video out for next week. How does that sound, guys? With that being said, let's say hi to a few of you whilst we're here. If you want to make sure that your comment definitely gets read out, then do send a super chat or send me a message via PayPal, Stream Elements, or Cash App. I'm just going to pick out the ones that just jump out to me. Project Metal Music, though, in the house right at the beginning. Thank you so much for being a badass mod as ever, sharing out all the codes. And we've got Jim Magliano in the house. Steph, your royal godness. Hope you're having a good day. Have an excellent day. Thank you very much. I'd got more of my garden done. There's now plants in. Actual plants in my garden that's alive and living and colourful and everything. So awesome. Went to IKEA. Didn't get any garden furniture that I wanted, but got something for my living room. So, you know, it wasn't a wasted trip. But there we go. Let's see. We've got also Haley in the house. And Will Morris, one of our other badass mods. And Will Call Magic and Billy Cat and Vampire Girl. All the regulars, all the huge. I absolutely adore you all. Ooh, Einhorn Kotze. Einhorn Kotze. That's a new person that I've noticed there. Hey up, Einhorn. Thank you so much for joining us. And Jay O'Brien says cheers from Southern California. Hey up. Sleepless in South Africa says hi from the Southern Hemisphere. Well, hey up from Yorkshire. How do? Um, let's see. Who else have we got in the chat? Hey, Jean Rick. Hey up, my friend. How's it going, honey? And we've got Shelley and Laura Lee and Lisa Boo and Kelber. Woo! Loving that you're using the new and improved leader emojis. Nice one. Appreciate your face. Let's scroll down a little bit more and see what you guys were saying whilst we were going through today's topic.
There's food at IKEA.
IKEA.
There's food. Someone said they go to IKEA for their food.
Oh yeah.
There's food there.
Yeah.
I've never known.
There's literally IKEA food. Yeah.
I have never known that. Really?
Yeah. We literally. So you as we were walking around, I was with my mum and my stepdad, and we were looking for garden furniture, particularly like a table and chairs for when guests come over and we want to eat outside or chill outside or whatever. The table and chairs that I want, though, I want something that's like the 6 people that I can just collapse and just put into shed, right?
Makes sense.
And store. But IKEA don't do that, apparently. Who knew? Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go to Amazon for that one, and spend some moolah. But as we were walking around, I wanted to take my mum and my stepdad to, like, I don't know, Frankie and Benny's or TGI Fridays, just as a nice little thank you because they've helped so much over the last couple of weekends with my garden. I really could have done it without them. But no, they wanted to go to the IKEA food court and get IKEA food. And I'm like, okay. So I've never really been before. I know of its existence, but I never really been before. But okay, so I went and I had this prawn sandwich thing and a chocolate cake and a ham and cheese sandwich. The prawn sandwich was all right. It was decent enough. The chocolate cake was... and then the sandwich I had later on, it was decent enough. A decent food. It's not like 5-star Ivy Ritz kind of situation, but you know, decent food,
it's IKEA,
decent price. It's all right. It
So
doesn't look particularly appetizing, but you know.
Did you have to assemble the sandwich too?
No, it came fully assembled at a premium price.
Okay, all right.
But yeah. Yeah. The one thing that really kind of got me is when oh God. Wow, nearly, I want to say about 17, 18 years ago now. I went to France with a couple of my best mates, and we went to a McDonald's for some reason, even though we were like in the middle of France, and we could have gone anywhere. We went to a freaking McDonald's.
Oh.
And I was absolutely shocked. They serve alcohol.
Really?
Yeah, I was really, really shocked. Like, you're shocked that our IKEAs serve food. I was equally shocked back in the day when I went to France that there was this McDonald's and it served proper alcohol, like from the tap as well, like proper draft, like beers and everything. Like, they had a full-on like alcohol license over there.
Yeah, I don't need another reason to go to McDonald's. Just like I do plan on attending a trip to the UK and going to Paris, going to Italy, and obviously, you know, enjoying some.
When?
Liverpool,
when?
Maybe
When?
I'm not sure yet. But based on what we were talking about a little earlier, when some things transpire, I will be doing some traveling. And so, yes, I definitely have to check out some things. There's some folks in the UK who definitely want to meet up and hang out. So, and yes, I will let people know.
You're definitely letting me know. Otherwise, I'm going to kick your ass.
Yes, ma'am. Be the McDonald's. Okay. All right.
Vampire Girl, housekeeping. Yes, the housekeeping as always. I know you guys message me, and some of you, when you're watching my video or you're watching me live, you kind of say it along with me now, which is quite fun to know. So yeah, that's why I'm like, 3, 2, 1 now live because I know some of you like to go along with me, which is cool. Um, Catherine T has got the right attitude here. Catherine subscribes to both Nate and Dragnaut. Brilliant channels. Woo!
Yes.
Yes! Catherine
Oh
T
yes.
for the win.
Well, I guess I'll spoil a little something here. People are going to see me and Nate in real life later this year a lot. He will be about 45 minutes from me in real life. So,
Really?
yes, yes. There.
Oh.
That's that's a lot of memberships coming through.
I
Yes. So
see that. I see that. I'll be getting to her in a minute. Marcella, I love you, honey. We'll get to you in a moment. I see you. I see you. Which state do you live in, mate?
I live in Texas.
Okay. All right.
Texas.
I'll be going to California later on this year. Originally, I was going to go end of this month, beginning of May, but now with the coronation, that's not going to be happening. So I'm looking at maybe like end of June, beginning of July.
Okay. All
So
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
Trying to
the
decide.
Super Nintendo Land is open
Is it?
at Universal in
Oh.
Cali. So I want to go. I basically
Oh.
want to go.
Yeah, you know what? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Yeah, let me know. You know what? If things are going as planned, we'll see. Because Nate should be here around that time. So, yeah, a lot of fun stuff planned. So, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Woohoo! So Arsal, they both walked away from the monarchy, so why come? Totally.
Mm,
I mean, I can see why Prince Harry would want to come because ultimately it's his dad. This is still a
yeah,
family at the end of the day.
yeah.
So I can get that. But Megsy, she's married into it. She can stay at home. She can
Mm.
have that damn birthday party for Prince Archie at home. So he still has his
Unimpeded,
birthday party.
unimpeded.
Uh,
Right.
Vampire Girl, privacy! Privacy! So there we go.
Have
Uh,
privacy and the birthday party where they are, and I don't see but it doesn't feed the ego. It's hard for children to feed an adult's ego, so I think that's the biggest issue.
yeah.
So.
And oh my goodness, I see that there is a proper gifting war going on at the moment. I will address that shortly. Just to scroll down a little bit more, Kathy says she's a major narcissist and she wants to be seen. Hope there are rotten tomatoes and loud boos. All will be watching Catherine anyway. Look, I don't
Mm,
want her to be pelted or anything like that. That's assault. And I think you probably meant it as a joke, which I'll take it as a joke. But just to be very clear, that there should be none of the pelting, none of the attacks, physically like that. Boos, yeah, let's boo her. But yeah, exactly. All our attention is going to be on Princess Catherine anyway. In terms of fashion and the female royal family. So yeah, totally.
yeah.
Kelbear says she's been so disrespectful, and if Princess Diana was still alive, she would not like Meghan, and I feel she would warn Harry about her. That's just my opinion. Do you agree with that, Kelbear?
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, I think there would be tension between because the sort of air that Princess Diana had about her. I was really, really young, when that happened. But even my mother, we're Americans, we live in the South. My mother dearly loved and appreciated Princess Diana because she was relatable, right? That just even from across the pond, Princess Diana had an air about her that you could walk up to her and she was a real person, warm, kind, and loving. And what she would want for her son, I don't think Meghan Markle represents. So there
Mm.
would be a huge clash there, and the clash that she would not have won.
Yeah.
I don't think.
No. Sandra Hogg says nobody will speak to her. She hates the royal family and calls them racist, but had to get titles for her kids. She'll want to beat Princess Catherine in style, but she has no hope. Totally, totally believe that. Totally agree with that. Keep It Real says Harry married his mother's stalker. Yep. Um, let's see what else were you guys saying. Let's scroll down a little bit more. Eddie says this chick has no morals, is a clout chaser, and is nothing, and will never fit in Princess Diana's shoes. I say that because she doesn't have the class that Princess Diana had, let alone humility. Yeah,
Thank you.
I
Thank
absolutely
you.
agree with that.
Thank
Absolutely
you.
agree. And yeah, she is a clout chaser if you are to believe Tom Bower's book, Revenge, which is absolutely fascinating. Have you read that, Dragnart, by any chance?
I have not. I'm still trying to get through Spare. I'm try-
It took a while for me to get through, but I got through it in the end.
uh,
Oh,
he is one of the most boring narrators I've ever listened to
it's painful.
in my life. I have it on audiobook because I was like, you know what, let me go and do other things and listen to him. But it's like, you telling me about your life, I'm not interested in your life. And I hate to say
painful.
that.
It's painful. It is painful to get through. Michelle R38 is, this is funny. She deserves nothing like that anymore, so she can piss off, you cowbag. Yes! And using the cowbag new emojis. Thank you so much for that. Peter Grimshaw, another excellent comment. Crown her with a paper Burger King crown.
Appropriate.
I think so. I think so. I think so. Scrolling down a little bit more. Thank you so much, Project Metal Music, for sharing Dragnart's YouTube channel. Do keep that going. Everyone, do subscribe to Dragnart. He's my kind of people. Calls a spade, keeps it 100. You know what I'm like. I'll only associate people that are pretty much like me. Go subscribe to him. He's freaking awesome. Get it done today. Thank you very much. Alter Nerds Assemble. Just completely just invade his channel. There you go. We're just invading now at this point. Invade, go forth and invade.
That's
there
fine.
we
I have
are.
a Twitch channel too, if they want to invade that, where I am always shirtless there. So for the people who enjoy that sort of thing, yes, I'm also very much a nerd. I have an active World of Warcraft account. For those of you who are wondering, actually, those of you who play WoW, you could just take a guess in the chat as to what class I play. How about that?
Ooh, all right. Do remember, if you want your comments read out for definite, do send me a super chat or through my link tree, Stream Elements, PayPal, or Cash App. At the moment, I'm just picking out the ones that are jumping out to me the best. Sarai says there's no comparison. She isn't a humble person. Meghan is too conceited and narcissistic. Princess Diana was badgered and stalked and was put in danger most of the time and never had privacy. Exactly. We pretty much knew what she was doing every single day. At the moment with Megsy, we don't know what she's doing. We don't really care, but we don't know what she's doing, and that's absolutely fine by us.
We have an idea. Steph, she's working 1 hour a week, right? Very hard.
Yes.
For 1 hour.
Yes.
For 1 hour.
At least we know that one. At least we know that one.
The hardest hour you ever work in your life.
And Jeffrey in the house, thank you again for starting off the leadership wars, the gifting wars, which, by the way, shit's the freaking bed. First and foremost, Marcella, my friend, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. That is extremely, extremely kind of you. Saying, love you and Daddy D. Oh, love you too, honey. Hope you're doing wonderful today. Again, props to the freaking, what is it? April Fool's joke you pulled on me last night.
I got a text message.
Oh my goodness, that was so good. She proper, like, seriously, and she had the picture of the outside of the airport and everything, and I was proper like, oh my goodness, she's here. I was like, I'm gonna literally end this stream now, call a taxi to wherever you're at. Like, no matter, I mean, Yorkshire is the biggest county in freaking England, so there's a lot of land to cover to go to wherever she was, but I was like literally gonna do it, and she was like, yeah, no, I'm not here. April Fools.
Like, oh well, there's that. Okay.
There's that. That was a really, really good prank. She pulled it off really well, in all honesty. But yeah, I'm gullible that way. You could say that a pig is flying outside my house right now, and I'd literally look out of the window to check.
Don't tell me that, because now I'm just gonna troll. Like, I'm like, hey, you know, I have some beer
Troll
outside.
Troll away, mate. Troll away. I'm really used to it, but it's how my mind works. I'm like the literal reincarnation of Drax.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get a box, a stick, and some crisp and a string, and we're gonna capture stuff like that. That's
pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm seeing a lot of guesses in the chat. Someone said I play paladin or warlock. My alt is a warlock, so that's one alt that I have. But no, that is not my main character. So, but someone said Zug Zug, so I guess I do play Horde. So you're close as far as a faction. Oh
Well,
man.
what else did Marcella do? Well, Marcella was like, "Here's 10 free gifted leaderships for some of you lucky alter nerds." So Marcella, thank you so much for bolstering up the leaderships there. Also, as well, Stephanie had to get in on the action on the gifting wars, and she was like, I'm gonna get my size fives into this one," and she gifted out 5 leaderships to some of you lucky lot. Um, Also, as well, let me have a look here. I'll just double check what's going on here. If I
Mm.
just scroll up, Jennifer Tilly um, has renewed their leadership for 1 month. Thank you so much, Jennifer. As has Mills. Woo, woo, woo! Go on, Mills and Jennifer. Also, as well, another super chat from Marcella. Thank you so much, honey, saying, "I'm so sorry." There's nothing for you to be sorry for. That was a really, really good prank. It was funny in the end. Like, you got me going. Like, a prank like that, and you get me going, and it's a prank in the end. I respect it for what it is. It's fine. There's nothing to be sorry for. It was April Fool's Day. I should have
Yeah.
really known, like, to be a little bit more critical in my thinking. But like, well, it is April 1st. Like, could it be that that's just a prank?
We've got to be careful what we hear, but you know what? It's good because we can get a chance to laugh at ourselves, practice a little skepticism, never hurts. Never hurts.
Exactamundo, exactamundo. So guys, make sure you keep the support coming. Guarantees that I do read your messages out. In the meantime, really, in terms of Hazza and Megxit, what fascinates you the most about these two?
I think it's the lack of self-awareness. And I want to say a lot of the stuff that I had sort of observed from, from our media and here in America. And after watching the Netflix documentary and then watching the Oprah interview, I found it odd, the calls to privacy when I'm watching a Netflix documentary of them uh, while they're actively trying to promote this. And I'm like, well, there are plenty of celebrities that exist all around the world that we know very little about. They're hermits, they're very reclusive because they don't put themselves in the limelight. So how on the one hand do you want privacy, but you keep doing things in the public to garner the public's attention and sympathy by putting out salacious claims about the royal family? You can have an issue with them, that's fine, and you could handle things privately and get the privacy you want. But it's clear that that's not what they're at. And I think that specifically for Meghan, that this is not necessarily a clout chase, but it is her way of sort of gaining the affirmation and the attention that she so desperately desires, that I guess she didn't get enough of when she was a child. And so I find it pathetic that she had to sort of bring in race and very, very odd racial claims, because when you see people discussing it, let's say when she was talking to Oprah, you can look at Oprah's face and tell that what was being stated and what was being received were two very different things. And I'll give you a very specific example. I actually have a whole video about this on my channel where there was a mention of Archie's skin color. And when that was brought up to Oprah, Oprah was a bit taken aback because it was without context. Now, when my son was born, right, because I'm Creole, my biological father is what we consider a passeport blanc. It's my pidgin French for pass for white. He is very passable. People don't know his race unless you are familiar with Creole people. And so he appears, for all intents and purposes, white. When my son was born, he was passeport blanc. And so I had a conversation with my mother about what did I appear to be when I was born. And guess what? I was that. So you can have such conversations, and it's contextualized in just sort of the appearance of your skin as far as the melanin that's being produced at that point in time, just like someone having curly hair when they're born or no hair. and there's nothing inherently racist about it. But because Meghan did not want to elaborate on any of the context behind it, made me question the validity of that claim. And it made me question whether or not the conversation even happened at all. Because when it was followed up with Harry, Harry absolutely did not want to discuss anything about it at all, even though Meghan was the one that initially brought it up. So many red flags, so many issues that I've seen come up subsequent of that make me really question what was going on, and if Meghan decides whether or not she wants to live in the same reality with the rest of us.
And what do you think they can do for both of them to rectify the problem that they have at the moment, which is, they are literally less popular now than freaking Prince Andrew. They are the
Mm.
least popular royals ever.
That's
No one really likes them, or the
yeah.
majority do not like them. They get slated wherever they go. They get criticized with whatever they do. What do you think that they can actually ultimately do to start rectifying that and for things to turn around for them?
They're going to first and foremost have to cease any and all derogatory comments about the firm, the royal family, monarchy, what have you. That has to cease. Period. And I think that once that starts, then a sort of reconciliation can occur first privately and then publicly, because I know that each branch of the monarchy has their own PR team that sort of works with the news media outlets to sort of fashion the image of the monarchy in all the different parts and pieces. So once private reconciliation has happened behind closed doors, then they can work with those different PR teams to sort of rebuild their brand and to come to some sort of understanding, say, hey, you know what? Yes, there were some things that may have been taken out of context. Yes, because there were some private disagreements, we felt spurned. And so, from there, we made a series of poor decisions, but now we are coming together for the sake of, the monarchy, for the sake of our children, for the sake of the line of succession, so on and so forth, and then just continue on. But that's going to take a lot of humility and introspection that I don't think Meg or Harry actually possess.
Mm. Do you think that they feel that they're too reliant on making money by throwing the royal family under the bus?
I
That
think
without
so.
doing that, they're finished financially?
Yes, I think that once their coffers have started dwindling, the realization is going to come upon them that this is just a quick cash grab, because, well, people love this sort of thing in the media. It's fine with especially bad news, but you can only beat that dead horse in the glue to a certain point. And once that horse is done, what else is there? You know?
There's talk in the Megxit quote unquote community, right?
Uh,
That ultimately she is going to divorce Prince Harry.
oh,
That they're going to
wow.
split. What do you think to that? Do you think that's going to happen? Not going to happen?
I think that the potential is there. If Harry can't get her to the status and position and the prestige that she originally desired, then she's going to go another route. I mean, she might marry Prince Andrew. I don't know. Who knows? But I think that presents an opportunity for Harry to reconcile with his family, because he is still a royal, whether he's disowned or not. He is still a part of that institution that he was born into. So I think it would be a great boon towards Harry, and maybe finding a woman that's actually worth her weight in salt, that could help rebuild his image and rebuild himself and get him some much needed therapy. And I think that from there, he could start to repair the relationship with his brother and his father, the king.
And do you think there's a way back for Prince Harry to the royal family? Or do you think he's completely burnt those bridges and he's done now?
I don't think that he's done. It's not in the best interest of the monarchy to just burn that bridge to the ground. It would not look good at all. And I think the king understands that. And so as a father and as a king, he has two important roles to the people and to himself and his family, and that his image as the king and as being a just and noble ruler comes with the understanding that there's there's no unforgivable sin outside of outright treason, right? There's no unforgivable sin excluding that. So I think that in the eyes of the British people, I would imagine him repairing his relationship with his father on a personal level, and that him sort of coming out with a statement and saying, here is the pain that I've been trying to express, albeit poorly, through my book and through my activism, that I ended up sort of lashing out, and it was the wrong answer. And so, you know what? I want to try and dedicate myself to the British people, my people, and to try and find a way to earn back that trust. And I think it would be well received if it was sincere. But I think that can only be attained once he has repaired that relationship with his father, and maybe still have some tension with his brother that may take longer. But I think the king is the key.
And in terms of the coronation, do you think Meghan should go or not?
I think she should stay in a fucking hole somewhere. But I think I think if she is going to go, she should try not to make a scene. She should try to, play her part as directed by by the Institute staff, and just be on her P's and Q's if she must go. But I don't think that's going to happen, so we'll see.
Why do you think she should not go to
Uh,
coronation?
because I think that with everything else going on, with what the slanderous sort of things that she has said about the institute, it sort of flies in the face of what she has expressed, that she doesn't want to be around these people, they're not welcoming, and to me personally, I don't want to be around people who don't want me around. And so I'm very curious as to why she would want to go personally. But it's just it raises way too many questions about the validity of those claims, saying as though she can overlook these supposedly egregious instances just for a chance to be in the limelight for an event that's not even about her.
And you mentioned the racist claims. We've blown past 5 new leaders for the stream. We're on 18.
Oh,
So
oh,
first and foremost, Dragnote, it looks like, oh, if you've got the time, we're doing a video next week
yes, ma'am.
about Meghan Markle and the racist claims, and getting your unique perspective on it. But a little bit, I suppose, of a taster, let's say, is they say in the Oprah interview, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's blatant as day that they were accused in the royal family of racism. Would you agree with that sentiment or not, first and foremost?
I don't think that there was overt racism at any point expressed by the royal family, based on the things that Meghan Markle herself has said. But do I think that there may have been instances of something that may be considered, I guess, what do you call it, like a microaggression or something like that? That's possible. I'm not outside of the realm of thinking that, what, they may have said something like that, because it happens. It's unintentional and it's not meant to be inflammatory. I still get comments that are considered microaggressions, but oh, you speak so well, oh, you're one of the nice ones, that sort of thing. I don't take it to heart, and I understand what they're trying to express, even though it's kind of cringy. So I would think more of the latter than the former. But I don't think that Meghan Markle is an honest person, and based on what she has expressed in the past, it just doesn't make any sense as far as claims.
Okay, so let me rephrase that question because I don't think I was, what is it enough? So sorry about that. Regardless if you believe her claims or not, um, do you think that in that Oprah interview, she and Prince Harry were accusing the royal family of racism, whether it was overt, underground,
Oh,
microaggression,
yes,
whatever? Do you think that was
yes,
the case?
yes, they were.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely, yes, yes.
So, what do you think now to their backtracking, particularly in the last couple of months when Prince Harry turned round in that Tom Bradbury interview when he was promoting his book and said, "Oh no, we didn't accuse him of racism. It was actually unconscious bias."
I think he's okay.
Yeah,
I heard about
right?
that. Yeah. So I think what he's doing now is he's definitely backpedaling. He's definitely backpedaling because I see where he say, well, you know what? We're not. I didn't just call them outright racist, but some things just simply happen. Okay, cool. We're not using the label. We're just using the definition here of what it is. We're just describing it. And it's like that doesn't make it better, right? It just
Mm,
seems like now you're not going to stick by your words. So I think it's BS. I think that's what it is. It's just straight BS by him. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I've just seen something in the chat.
Uh-oh.
Make sure you continue with your support. Send your super chats, your stream elements, PayPal's, Cash Apps. You can guarantee that your comments will certainly be read out. But this one caught me eye. Vampire Girl! We're just about to get me doggy's birthday cake. Gonna sing happy birthday and open more presents. So big thanks to you, Steph, your amazing guest, and to all in the chat. Well, whenever I spy that there's a birthday, no matter who it is, hey, if they're your dog, your family, your mate, they're still kind of part of our tribe. So, here we go. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to put it on this screen so you can see Dragnart's reaction as well to this. If he does
Uh-oh.
react, I don't know. We'll see what happens. You know what time it is, guys? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Vampire Girl's dog. Happy birthday to you. May there be more. Yes! Well, at the end of the day, Pooch is the part of the family as well, though important family members. And yeah. So happy birthday to Vampire Girl's dog as I literally knock into my desk and everything jiggles about. Hi. Not absolutely everything, my milkshakes are still here, guys. But they don't jiggle that much. I'm only like a B cup, 34B. But they jiggle a little bit, but not too much. My desk, though, proper jiggles a lot when I knock into it. It's like there's a mini earthquake going on, and it's like, ah! There we go.
Like where this conversation's going. Okay, all right.
Oh, dude. Brain gob between that quality control up and left years ago. It's just whatever comes out, and then that's it.
Okay, I
Enjoy
like it.
ride. Enjoy
I like
ride.
Now I want cake and
Oh.
milk. But yeah, like I think that's man. So can we get pictures of the doggo on Twitter? Can we do that? Can we get some people tagging folks? Because I have a kitty cat around here somewhere. It may be asleep, but that's one of the features of my streams is that you'll see a little gray cat that's occasionally jump up behind here and then disappear. And yes, that is definitely something. And actually, let's see if I can call her here. Brooklyn. So we'll see. She might come up the stairs now that she hears her name. And I have cat treats here next to me. So we shall see. But yes, happy birthday, doggo.
Yes, happy birthday indeed. We are team dog over in our community. Cats, generally speaking, I'll drop kick them. There's
Oh,
only a couple that I actually do like. The thing is, right, with cats, okay, unless they are sociable, yeah? When
okay.
I stroke them, they want to scratch me, they want to attack me, and it's like, I'm only giving you fuss and attention, but no, they want to attack. Well, screw you then. Alright?
Yeah.
Screw you, cats. Not a fan at all. Now, dogs, on the other hand, they
They're always
love
friendly.
you love them, you scratch pardon me, you scratch their belly and behind their ears and you play with them and they love that kind of interaction. Cats, they're like, look at
Not
you
so much.
and they're
Not
like,
so much.
I'm better than you. Bye.
But this cat is actually very strange. My cousin's cat, in contrast, they call my cousin's cat's name is Harvey, and Harvey is short for Harvey Dent. Also,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Respect. Is it two-faced?
Two-Face.
Oh, he's proper two-faced.
It's Two-Face
Little shit.
because the cat will roll over on its back. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. You want me to, and then you reach in. Okay, cool. Scratch the kitty, and no, kitty bites you and scratches you. But you're like, you just wanted me to do, huh? This kitty loves being pet, loves being rubbed, and just it loves affection. I was like, you are the strangest, most affectionate cat I've ever, but I love you. I love you. Nate's played with Brooklyn, and this cat loves everyone. She'll nibble every so often because she's still a young cat, but other than that, she is very sociable and she wants to know what you're doing and what you're eating. And she will call you and say, hey, if you're in the kitchen, I want some eggs. And I want to kiss. And she loves kisses, and I spend the mornings giving her kisses. So that's what I do. So yes.
Well, there's like my mum has a cat. He's called Thomas, but I nickname him Tom Tom. He's all right. I don't drop kick him. He's okay. But Andy's cat, Popcorn Planet, Cookie, she's evil. She's evil.
Oh.
Like he'll even admit that the cat's evil. Jamie, his partner, she'll admit that the cat's evil as well. Like I went up to the cat and I'm like, hey up. Like don't want to know. But then all of a sudden, it'll come up to you, right? Seems all right. And then literally claw you to death.
Oh.
At one point, she clawed me on my arm that deep that I bled. I'm like, who are you again, cowbag? What the deuce? So now, whenever I go over to Andy and Jamie's house, like, yeah, fair enough, I stay the hell away from that cat. Like, that cat, that cat's evil. And again, they'll freely admit that cat's evil. But yeah.
Bring some holy water with that thing. Jesus. Yeah.
Exorcism, holy water, the whole freaking 9 yards, dude. Like, it just doesn't want to know. And I try and be nice to it, calm, happy, kind to it, because ultimately I have entered their domain as well. It's their home as well. Try and treat it with respect, give it the strokes and, the love, this, that, and the other. Oh, no. It goes, proper, like, goes at you. And I'm like, dude, I'm only just giving you some love. What the deuce? Feed it, and then it'll claw you afterwards as, like, a screw you situation. Nah.
Wow. Ungrateful beast.
Very much an ungrateful beast. Yes. Yes. So whenever it's around, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna be on the opposite end where you are not.
Yeah, make sure they're
wherever you are, I ain't gonna be there anymore, cat. Like, we done. I got your sentiment. You don't like me. That's absolutely gooch. I'll just be somewhere else, out of your way. and then like at night, I'll close my bedroom door. A, just for the privacy, which is fair enough, but then B, so that cat don't come in and then unexpectedly then tries to attack my face. Because I can imagine in the morning I'd wake up all of a sudden with cat scratches just all over.
Oh yeah, fighting Freddy Krueger in your sleep. It's like, what happened here? What happened?
Freddy Krueger.
Cat attack.
Oh my goodness! Like Freddy Krueger, right? I can watch. Do you like horror movies?
What's who?
Horror movies. Do you like scary movies? Okay. Yes. So I like them too, right? The gorier, the better. I love the ultra violence. I laugh at it now. I just think it's funny as hell. It's like my kind of comedy in a way. Okay. But for the longest time, since I was a child, up until a couple of years back, I had this really weird fear of the Freddy Krueger films. Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah. I can watch Saw and laugh my backside off. I can watch Hostel, laugh my backside off. The most horror films, the most ultra-violent, graphic, and I laugh my backside off, right? Freddy Krueger, though, scared as shit. So what did I do? Well, during the lockdown, I thought, screw it. I need to beat this fear. So I buy and download every single Krueger film, and I start watching them in order. Late at night. I make a point to do it late at night as well. In bed, on my iPad. My ex next to me snoring away. And literally, I'm fighting to not laugh, to wake him up. Like,
really?
Yeah. I'm,
All that fear,
I'm,
just to laugh at it?
yeah, yeah, I'm fighting not to laugh so I don't wake him up. And then afterwards, once I finished like the final one, it was like, I think 7, 8 o'clock in the morning at that point. And it was the weekend, so it was a lie-in for us. And yeah, I was like, at the end of it, I was like, I'm glad I did this, but shiz
Mhm.
the bed. Why has it taken me so many freaking decades to
So
get
why were
over this
you
fear? Because I remember when I was small, I was probably about 6 or 7 at the time. And on my biological father's side, um, his nieces and nephews, so my cousins technically, I remember walking into the living room at one point at their house, and there was a Freddy Krueger film on, and it was
Mhm.
a Freddy Krueger birth scene, and the baby, Freddy Krueger baby, was all floppy and scary, and there was a lot of mess and blood and screaming and all that lot, and
So
I
that's
remember
just
that, and I remember then the first film that they watched where it was the infamous death bed scene where gets lifted up and then all the red stuff coming out and all that lot, the blood and everything. And so, since I was a child, I had those visceral kind of images in my head and this fear of these films. But it's
yeah, no,
like, I've watched worse.
yeah. Yeah, no,
How was
there I
I
mean
still scared of him like a few years back?
it's just it's so stuff that impacts us when we're a kid, and it just leaves this indelible mark on us. And the something like that actually occurred to me when I was younger,
Mm,
and I was probably maybe a young teen, maybe 11 or 12. And I think there was I think the series was Outer Limits, and one of the shows on Outer Limits or stories was miners, and they were salt miners, and at some point they had dug up these prehistoric worms that would jump on to like latch onto people and then go in their nose to ears and control their brains. And so that, for some weird reason, has always stuck with me. Anytime I've seen a caterpillar moth, or anything like it, I instantly go back to that, and I physically cringe. Now, mind you, I'm a 6'1", 280-pound guy. I've served the military, but the second I see one of these crawling things, I just have to go the other way. And it's so strange that I know, like, that thing can't hurt me. Like, but I, from watching that when I was younger, yeah, that is a fact. That is an actual fact.
And have you got over that fear now, or are you still?
I still cringe, but I don't like run away in fear,
Mm.
nothing like that. But I don't want them near me or on me. But I mean that's pretty much true for anything that's just creepy and crawly. I don't want them on me for the most part. If it's not a dog or a kitty cat or something, I don't want it on me at all. So
Fair
yeah,
enough. I don't like spiders. Spiders,
spider.
no. I can't do. Snakes, I'm fine with. Anything else, I'm fine with. Spiders, though, no. I see a
Spiders.
spider in the house. I get my Dyson and hoover that thing up pretty quick. Like,
Yep.
no, no spiders allowed in my house. No freaking way. Do not like them. No, 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 no. Bye, 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 bye. Keep on the
Ooh.
outside. Do not come in. Simple as. You cross into my house. You are literally having a death wish on you. It is as simple as that. So it's the spider's fault, really, not mine.
Yeah, I understand. Hey, you have your zone, I have mine. Don't
There you
cross my.
go. We all have our zones. So seeing as I turn to you and Nate for my ultimate boozy updates in more recent times,
Mm.
what's going on with our boozy now? What updates
Oh
are you
man.
able to give? Even just a few teasers for your channel, like what are you talking
Well,
about boozy wise at the moment?
so right now, he's just sort of making the rounds with Politicon and Mr. Pinkowski. He's just giving interviews. Boozy is definitely feeling himself a lot lately. He was on Twitter. A lot of people sort of caught on to the fact that there's a lot of fanfare behind the Samantha Markle and Meghan Markle case, and sort of Nate reported on and say, hey, you know what, Samantha has a chance to refile, so on and so forth. Boozy used that opportunity to go, oh, that's not the only thing that's going to be dismissed soon. Ha 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 ha. Here, little buddy. And so, it was a little more saber rattling from Boozy, but I find it funny when it was his lawyers that were the ones reaching, out to us saying, "Hey, let's settle." But then, of course, Boozy gets on social media and pretends like there's not a paper trail with that specific thing. And so I think it's really funny that he has to keep up this image as if he is some sort of powerhouse or he's some sort of expert. But little does he know that once discovery hits, people are going to find out a lot of interesting things about our friend.
Yep. And with that being said, how is that getting on at the moment? Because last time I spoke to Nate a couple of weeks back, it was a sense of we're still waiting for the judge's decision for Boobs' motion to dismiss. The
Yeah,
likelihood is it won't be dismissed and we will go to discovery. But of course, with any kind of legal case, you never know for certain.
right.
So, yeah, where are we with that at the moment?
So right now we're still sort of waiting in limbo. The judge hasn't really ruled just yet, and so it's just kind of playing the waiting game. One would think, though, if the case was as weak as Boozy were to claim, then it would have already been dismissed with very little deliberation needed. So, again, he can rattle his saber all day long, but even in Samantha Markle's case, you can still refile and amend it. And he seems to always forget that conveniently when he's making these Twitter statuses.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And guys, definitely, if you haven't done so, go on over to my channel because I did release a couple of days ago a pre-recorded video. As far as I'm concerned, Meghan Markle, mainstream media, are lying to you. She hasn't won. She hasn't won the lawsuit because ultimately, like Dragnor and Nate have said, Samantha can refile. This lawsuit is not over, not like Meghan Markle and mainstream media are trying to make it out. So if you want to know more and want to know the breakdown of that, firstly, Nate the lawyer, go over to him and make sure you subscribed. He'll give you more of the legal kind of breakdown to it all. But then, watch my video, basically for my gobbiness. You see, there you go. You want it gobby? Then come over to my video and I'll tell you it straight as well, guys. But yeah, I had a little bit. It's like my little claim to fame now. You know, you've made it, yeah, properly made it now on Twitter and the internet in our community when Boozy retweets you and
Yeah.
tries to take you. He did that with me. He did that with
Oh,
me,
it's
and
so
it's so
cute.
cute, so cute. Like ultimately, last year I did a lot on Boozy in terms of like the data protection GDPR stuff.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, and I have said this publicly now, that didn't go anywhere because the ICO, the Information Commissioner's Office, who upholds our laws for data protection, turned around and said, yeah, he may be breaking it. However, even if we did start, work on it, we can't enforce it because he's in another country,
Yeah, yeah. That's
which is
sort of what I was told.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But there we go. So that kind of died down. And then with everything else going on, I'll freely admit, and I've said this before, I kind of got a little bit scared of him. I did.
Oh.
He started to get a bit intimidating for me. So I backed off. I did, guys. The amount of channels that were taken down and he was taking credit for it and everything else. Again, I got scared, I intimidated, and I backed off um, until a few months back, and I thought, do you know what? Screw this. I'm not gonna let this fear control me. I want to talk about Hazard and Megsy. I've got some forthright feelings and views on this and knowledge about this. I'm not gonna let him scare me into submission of not reporting it the way that I want to. So I started.
Exactly.
I started my coverage on Megsy and Hazard, and I've doubled down, and I've not looked back since. I've enjoyed the content that I've created. I stand by it every single step of the way. And then when he retweeted me a couple of weeks back, Sakib, he in one of the spaces, he turns around and he was like, "Yeah, we've noticed he's retweeted you. Steph, please don't worry, it's gonna be all right." And I'm like, "Do you know what, dude? I would have worried before. Now I'm laughing my backside off because it just shows his freaking desperation at this
Oh
point."
yes. Yeah. No,
Um,
he likes being I know people use this term a lot, bully, but he thrives on intimidation. And right when I came out the gate, I said, I've been keeping tabs on you for a while, buddy. You know, I hadn't really said anything, but I've been watching him. And one of the things he thrives on is being able to dox people. Well, people can look up my real name and my address. Like I don't hide who I am or where I am or what I do. And so he knows that that's not something that's ever going to work with me. And so from that, he has to now go other routes. And those other routes that he can go are going to be fun for me, not for him. I'll say that much. So I thrive on people like him who rely on the saber rattling online, and there's very little to back it up. You know, he can try and attack my channel if he wants to. People have been trying for the last decade, literally, and haven't been successful. But what he has, I think what he has learned that the more people say my name, the more he spreads the infamy, and the more people are going to learn about it. Because I have a whole lot of thoughts about what he claims to be. He proclaims that, you know, black excellence, that he's a big nerd, and it's like, come on, bro, just not. There's a difference between the Dragnos and the Nates of the world and the Christopher Boozies. Some of us don't have to pretend to be something that we're not. Meanwhile, he's still trying to fill in the shoes that he made for himself, and it's like, it's cute. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely cute, but it's the real McCoys are out there, and people know the difference.
It's like a fake it until you make it situation with Boozy. The only thing is, he's not
Exactly.
making it because each and every time he tries to do this with all his failed ventures, well, I've already said it failed. He
Yeah,
fakes it and he fails because
yeah,
he
and
fakes it. Opinion,
we have
conspiracy
reason.
theory, whatever. Like, you know.
It's funny you mentioned that. He's actually been looking into the net worth of Spoutable, and it's interesting you say that because, you know, what did he do with some of those other websites? He just sold it off to somebody. So once Spoutable gets started, and you know, and I hope Spoutable is successful. I was on it for a few weeks and I got bored of it. Honestly, people still send me screenshots and stuff, but there's nothing happening on there. It's Twitter. It's not even Twitter light. It's Twitter garbage. And so, with half the functionality of actual Twitter, he is now relying on people to just follow him because, well, reasons, and then he'll sell that off and move on to the next thing. Hopefully, this time he can pay his rent, because you know,
Well, he paid his taxes,
or his tax. He
finally.
did. Y'all, you guys bully him into paying his taxes, and you
How
feel
dare we?
ashamed.
How dare we hold him accountable to his civic duty to pay his damn taxes? Oh
Oh,
my goodness, how evil are we?
I
Like, shiz
know.
the freaking bed. Do you know what? I actually disagree with you on one sentiment, and we'll get to that in a moment. I'll leave it
Mm,
on a cliffhanger. Jay Wright has been a leader for 7 months. Woo! Yes, thank you. Anyone else that wants to become a leader, you get exclusive access to the badges, the emojis that you're seeing on your live chat right now. For example, Wancho using the A up exclusive emoji. Thank you so much. Also, as well, the exclusive videos that I upload, and once a month we do leader only streams. I did one a couple of days ago. April's will be coming up this month, so if you don't want to miss out, become a leader today. Hit that join button. $4.99 a month for everyone. Less than a cup of coffee at freaking Starbucks, and you get even more value for your money when it comes to me. So smash that join button today. Helps me and supports me in this channel so I can continue what I like to do as a full-time YouTuber for you guys. Woohoo! With that being said, though, Jay Wright has said the episode of Doctor Who with the living statues was the only episode taking years to be able to watch again. Ooh, okay. I'm not really that big on Doctor Who, but I do understand that there are certain episodes that have been scary, especially watching as a child growing up kind of situation. So I can get that. That's absolutely fair enough. Now, on that cliffhanger, here we go.
yes,
The
ma'am.
one thing I disagree with you with is you turning around and saying that you hope Spoutable is successful. I hope it's not.
Mm,
I hope
mm.
it's not. And there's an actual legitimate reason. It's not me being salty at all. Generally speaking, whenever anyone starts their own venture, their own business, good luck to you. Wish you all the happiness, success, and luck for the future. With Boozy and Spoutable, hell no. Why? Because, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, how he is with data. The first freaking week of
Yeah.
Spoutable, and tens of thousands, over 20,000 users, their data was breached.
Yep.
Data were breached. If you were in the UK, Boozy, I'm telling you right now, the ICO would have been all over your backside and you would have been fined millions. And I
Yep.
mean millions. No freaking joke. You would have been absolutely crucified by the regulators. How that is not happening right now, with presumably the Securities Exchange Commission, the SEC, or someone of the equivalent that monitors and regulates data protection on a federal level, is beyond me. But that was insane. And then the fact of the matter is, again, you look at Spoutable's privacy notice and all the terms and conditions, they're not up to scratch.
No.
They're not up to scratch, not even internationally, because, yet again, it does not take into account international law, let
No.
alone local, state, and federal laws. It's literally, from what I can tell, a copy and paste job, just like freaking Opinion Conspiracy Theory, whatever, bot Sentinel. This dude is asking for your data on Spoutable. And for me, Opinion Conspiracy Theory, whatever, is not handling it and dealing with that data properly within the regulations that's supposed to protect you.
Yeah.
And if you think in the first week over 20,000 user data were breached in a massive way, information that's identifiable, information that can be used against those users if it's in the wrong hands. As far as I'm concerned, no, I hope it's not successful. I hope it crashes and burns because of that, but also as well, what is his actual intentions with Spoutable? He says he's done Spoutable as the alternative to Twitter, right? The safer alternative to Twitter, where everyone's safe, free from harassment, blah, 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 blah. Hey up, dude, welcome to internet. What the frick? But there we go. Okay. Yeah, what's the real reason?
Yeah.
No. What's the real reason? Now, he has got a hard on for the Democrats. He wants in. He wants in on that circle. Exactly. Jerk off. He's got a proper hard on for the Democrats, the DNC. He wants in on that. Yeah? Now,
Oh, yes.
for better or for worse, in this day and age, real currency, real power is data. User data.
There you go.
User data, how people act on the internet, how people interact on the internet, where they go, their whole behavior profile on the internet and who they are. That data, that's the real currency of today's age.
I agree.
Not gold, not silver, not even crypto. User data. Yeah? And
Yeah.
Boozy at the moment, on Spoutable, and Bot Sentinel, mind you, Opinion Conspiracy Theory, whatever, is getting that. He's getting that. That precious, absolutely worth its weight more in gold and crypto data. What's
I
he
agree.
using that for? Right? Now, all I'm going to say is I have fears of a Cambridge Analytica moment.
I remember hearing about that. Were
Yeah.
they doing surveys or oh man, I'm trying to remember. Was it a repository of user
Let's
data that got breached? I'm actually struggling to remember. I remember hearing about that though. But in the past, back when he had his escort website and whatnot, supposedly that data just got sold off along with the website and everything else. So, I mean, if the trend keeps, then you know what? Having a lot of very left-leaning people's data, knowing what they're talking about, all the hashtags and what they're clicking on, this, that, and the other, that could be very advantageous in future election cycles,
Exactly.
potentially.
Because this is the
Potentially.
thing, right? Let me explain to you the Cambridge Analytica situation, right? So Cambridge Analytica had access to basically the equivalent of Facebook's API. Well,
Mm,
guess what? Boozy has access to Twitter's API. Not for much longer, because Elon Musk is going to be charging like what,
like 1,000 a month for it.
$120,000 a month or 40K a month or whatever, for Boozy to have access. Good luck with that. He can't even pay his own
A
damn
lot of
rent, let
misread.
alone afford that. So his Twitter API access is going to go, which means Bot Sentinel is going to be gone pretty much instantly, right? So bye bye to that. Now, Cambridge Analytica had access to the equivalent for Facebook's API. They had turned round and they had said that they were collating the data for quote unquote academic purposes. However, that wasn't the case. What they were actually doing was they were basically using the data that they were getting from Facebook to build voter profiles.
Really? Ooh. Mm, very valuable.
Yes,
Very valuable.
yes, to then by all means influence, manipulate certain things for voters and parties and political rallies and all that
Mm,
malarkey. And that's why I say, what's the real reason Boozy is so spoutable? Because ultimately, as far as I can tell, again, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, Boozy is after really one thing in the end, and that's power.
absolutely. Yeah.
Power. Power,
And
power,
you know
power,
what?
power, power, and more power.
If there was, an urge to obtain power, um, because you feel downtrodden in order to protect oneself, I understand that. And I'm referencing 48 Laws of Power a bit here.
Mm.
But for if you're just trying to acquire information for financial gain, it's definitely going to be looked at a certain way because that's what's happened in the past with some of these websites that he has allegedly been involved in. And so if you are amongst any campaign and you have a campaign finance manager and marketing manager and you want to figure out, well, you know what are people in my voting block here, what are they doing? Well, you know what, if you had a repository that kept all that information, that could be very valuable. And your finance guy could talk to the marketing person and go, you know what, hey, we could say 20, 30,000 and we can get some quick answers and get the ball rolling. And so if Boozy had such information or access to said information, he could pay some of that back rent and then some, potentially. So yeah, the risk is definitely there. And it would actually explain why he's rushing this so much, because that's one of the things that I talk about in a lot of my streams is that he
Yep.
rushed Spoutable out
Right.
in less than 4 months.
Yep.
And it's so unpolished and it's so terrible that it's just a place for people to sit, and so he can just scrub whatever data he needs from it as it grows. And that's why he's obsessed with it going fast and more people joining. Well, guess what? He's probably on to his next grift. So there's that.
Because guess what's coming up next year?
Cycles. Hmm,
Presidential election.
the cycles are coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly. And so the timing of this, everything, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, is not coincidental.
Yeah.
I am telling you right now, to me, there is an alternative reason as to why he's built Spoutable. It's not out of the goodness of his freaking heart to be able to create a
Yeah.
safe experience for people on the internet, because there is no such thing. There will always be harassment. There will always be trolling. Hello, this is the internet. You can never ever eradicate that, no matter how much you freaking try. And if anything, Spoutable, he's exposed himself as being, as far as I'm concerned, a freaking dictator anyway, banning people that shouldn't even have been banned. It wasn't even harassment, some of these things that he's banned people for. It's just they've said the wrong thing in his eyes and he's got rid of them. I
I mean, it's
suppose
one
that's
thing.
his right because he owns the site, and that's absolutely fair enough. But then don't be the bastion of free speech as long as there's no harassment. And when there's no harassment, you still ban them anyway. It's
Yeah.
like, I
Oh yeah.
don't get that. But anyway, that's his side. It's his right. He can do what he wants. That's absolutely fair enough. But, he's then exposing, as far as I'm concerned, his freaking hypocrisy and idiocy. So let him crack on with that. But yeah, ultimately, to me, it's not out of the goodness of his heart that he's trying to build a safer Twitter, a better Twitter. No, he wants this
No,
user data, and
because
he wants it for another reason, as far as I'm concerned. It's definitely political. Because, like
it
we
was
said right at the beginning of this conversation, he's got a hard on for DNC and Democrats, and it's absolutely hilarious seeing the freaking um uh, uh, predictions that he makes.
oh, please. The
Oh
elect
my goodness! The
uh,
predictions that he makes, and the ones that don't come through, he deletes them. And the
so
ones that do come through is like, told you, I know. I'm always right. I'm always right.
he mentioned that actually one of the interviews, what was it with Brooklyn Dad, the
Yes.
client, he mentions the predictions, and I said, well, in a lot of cases it was a 50-50 chance, right? And you can look up the stats of the incumbent challenging someone and alter that 50-50 so that it's less than that. But the funny thing is he's doing something called Texas sharpshooting. And
Uh-huh.
so if you are just shooting the back of a barn and then you draw a circle around the cluster of where you hit the closest, right? Then you can go, oh, look, I'm an expert marksman there. And then you just ignore everything outside of that. And that's what he does is Texas sharpshooting. The stuff that he's just dead ass wrong about, he's not going to acknowledge. Oh, well, that's just a one-off. Well, there's no metric, there's no methodology for you to actually do this. So other than you just flipping a coin, there's no discernible difference there. So it's not miraculous. It's not a testament to your supposed knowledge. And again, that's some of the things that I actually speak about when I'm reviewing Boozy, is that he doesn't know anything when it comes to any of the stuff that he's talking about data, how to process data, statistics, none of that stuff. And it's like, well, some of us have maybe a little bit of background in doing a little bit of research. Some of us know how to actually process information, data, turning qualitative data into quantitative data, and how to present it in an intelligible manner. Boozy doesn't know how to do any of that stuff. And you can tell by the way that he is explaining it to other people. When I was working with yeast and CRISPR Cas9 gene editing, stuff like that, I had to break that stuff down so that other people understood me. And it doesn't matter what level of education somebody had, I could explain that. But you notice that when Boozy is trying to talk shop with people, he can't really do that. And even when he is supposedly speaking to someone, even in his Twitter spaces that knows a bit about tech stuff, he still can't talk shop with them. And so it's the shibboleth, and I love that word, that he lacks, and the knowledge itself. And so if he wants to convince, I guess, me that he knows what he's talking about, I'll start with just a high school diploma.
Yeah, because we're still waiting for that, aren't we? We're still waiting for a
Yes.
diploma, a degree, some kind of certification that backs him up ever so slightly in regards to his technical knowledge of AI and programming and computers as a whole. Um, it he did back in October a quote unquote tutorial on Bot Sentinel.
Oh,
Ultimately, it was an advertisement for it. Because I spoke to, there was someone very kind enough in the tribe that put me through to their partner who is like a computer programming technician.
mm,
And I sent to him all these tweets that says, right, what the frick is he really saying here? By your standards. And the computer programming technician who taught also this for a living turned round and he said, right, it don't mean shiz. It's an advertisement for Bot Sentinel. And he's not really explaining how it works at
thank
all.
you.
He's
Thank you.
not doing that. It's not a tutorial at all. And it's laughable because there's no AI. All he's doing, right, is by his own words, by his own explanation, he puts in words into Bot Sentinel. What words are good? What words are bad? So when you use a good word, you're fine. If you use a bad word, you're bad. But it doesn't discern the context of that.
It
So
can't.
I could turn round and I could say, and I could be a historian, right? Okay, historian, and talk about, let's say, the Nazis. But if
Right.
he's put in Bot Sentinel that Nazi is a bad word,
then you're going to get a bad score. Exactly, because
Correct.
picking up because there's and I've actually spoken to people too in this field where they said there's I think they call it a parser, and so there's different layers that you need to have of a parser for obviously for the computer ones and
Yeah.
zeros to understand human language, and then
Yes.
even, from English, for instance, what these words mean in the context of what they're saying, and then the nuance of, hey, you know what? It's an
Correct.
inside joke, but so if I call Nate a pirate or something like that, Nate and I are real life friends, and so me, talking about his disability is a bit different than Boozy talking about his disability. So
Yeah.
how does a AI know that? How does a computer know any of that unless you are programming that and training it to pick up on that stuff? And you don't hear Boozy say anything about that stuff because he doesn't have the education, nor the knowledge or anything to be able to do any of this stuff. And so that's why it's laughable when you're talking to some of the clowns that sit there and defend them because they don't know either. They haven't peeked behind the curtain.
You see, I would have a little bit of respect, a little bit, just a tiny, tiny, tiny modicum of respect for him if he made Bot Sentinel open source.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the coding.
Yes.
Because, as far as I can tell, from what I've been told and from what I see in terms of how it all works, it's just basic conditional coding.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
it.
it. And for those that don't understand what I've said there, conditional coding is if and or. So, if you do this, then computer does this.
Right.
Or if you do this, then computer does that. So you go down one route, computer does this. You go down the other route, computer does this. If and or. Conditional coding, right?
Yeah.
So in Bot Sentinel's case, if you say Nazi, you are bad. You are problematic, yeah? If you say, let's say a phrase here, Meghan is good, then you are good. Bot Sentinel loves you, right?
Exactly.
Kind of very, I would say to a certain point, as basic as binary.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's either it's my way or the highway. So if you agree with Boozy politically or socially and all that kind of stuff, there's certain words and hashtags and phrases and all that kind of stuff that you're obviously going to use. But if you're on the other side of the spectrum or you're just not towing the ideological line, then there's certain phrases that he can identify and say, you know what? If you use the hashtag Johnny is a victim, or for instance, well, you know what? We'll give that person 10%. If using profanity, you get 5%. And so that will cumulatively create your score on Bot Sentinel and then give you a label disruptive or problematic or what have you. And so it has very little relevance in the grand scheme of things because it's arbitrary. All of the stuff that he puts on there is all arbitrary, and that's why you saw posts where people who are unspoutable and they're asking, "Hey, why do I have this score?" He can't actually tell them,
No.
right? Because he says, "Well, you know what? There's at some point you entered, you put something out on Twitter, and it was on my naughty list, and that's why." Because then it's like, well, hold on for a second. Who made you the arbiter of that? Well, but he is. He is. It's his website. He is the arbiter. But what is he using as the arbiter to determine where's the rubric that he is utilizing, and how can people sort of alter that, right? Because if he gives you the keys, right, to the castle, then you know what, anybody can alter their score. So
And
it's
that's
a
and that but the thing is, he's the whole like woke kind of set that he is a part of, transparency, equality, blah 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 blah. Well, be transparent. Open
yeah,
source. What Sentinel? Let's see the actual coding. Let's see how it actually works.
can do that.
But he won't do it. And the
Can do
thing
that.
is that this whole tutorial back in October, that was an opportunity for him to prove his knowledge, for him to prove to a certain extent that he knows what he's on about, what he knows, this, that, and the other, right? Yeah, I've seen your
Yep.
message. We'll be ending shortly anyway. But he didn't do that. He didn't
No.
do that. So, you know what, Boozy? I've got two challenges for you. Firstly, just like Nate and Drugnaut, Yeah, show us a diploma, degree, something that's accredited that proves that you did study and get some kind of qualification in freaking computers. Something, right? Right? A start. Let's start from there. And secondly, open source bot sentinel. Let's see the
Ooh,
coding. Let's see it.
that's
There's so many other programs that are open source, right?
yeah, there are.
Let's go.
GitHub is a perfect place where he could
Correct.
put some of the stuff up, but nothing. So there's that. But the only
Totally.
thing I've seen, and someone actually sent this to me, and it is let's see, it is from the Brooklyn College, the City University of New York here, and that is an old ID from Boozy,
Ooh.
where he was a computer technician. So that's from a job when he worked at Brooklyn College. But as far as him graduating from there or somewhere similar, I'm still looking for that. Still looking. So other than fixing printers and having a peanut head, I'm not sure really what else that he's done these last few years. So there's that. But hey, you know what? I'll eat crow. I will hold these beliefs provisionally, and when I have evidence, I can be disabused of them. So we'll see.
Hmm. Well, we're starting to wind down now, guys. Gene Rick, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat with the boozy bucks.
Books.
Yes, boozy bucks. Keep sending your boozy bucks in, absolutely. We've probably said his name at least more than 3 times now, so just like Beetlejuice. Hey up, boozy. How's it going?
Hi there, precious. He's evidently upset that Nate when Nate visited me a few weeks ago, we went out
I
and had some
saw.
steak. Yeah. I mean, there's a big hoo-ha over Nate like sitting on my couch. And one of his sycophants said that it looks like a basement, which I'm not sure who puts a couch that size in a basement,
Yeah.
but that was kind of
Yeah.
strange. But it was upset. Boozy was upset because Nate supposedly traveled to Texas alone, which imagine traveling alone
Wow.
to hang out with somebody. But that it was strange to him. And I kept reading the tweet and the picture and all that. And it was a shock to him that Nate has like normal human interaction. But we're talking about someone whose workstation is his kitchen
Yeah.
and who doesn't leave home. So I had to keep that in mind. But I mean, it's like, only if you really knew like, the extent to me and Nate hang out. Like, but
Yeah, keep it
that's
in
for off air.
perspective.
Yeah, but
This dude's servers and everything is in a freaking kitchen, right? Uh, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can imagine. Do you know what? My setup and the beast is probably better than his, and that's probably saying something given the website and everything that he tries to deal with and run and all that lot. But anyways, guys, we are going to sign off at this point. So if you loved my special guest of today, then by all means, guys, if you haven't done so already, www.youtube.com/Daddy Dragnor. I know the mods have been sharing his link. Continue to do so, guys. Alter Nerds Assemble. Go on over to Dragnor's channel. If you loved what comes out of my gob, you definitely loved what's come out of his gob. So my logic is undeniable. Go on over right now and subscribe. Again, just to explain to those that have just come in, what are they to expect when they come over to your side of YouTube, mate?
a lot more commentary. If you'd like to hear my opinion about Boozy, about the royals or the former royals, or just about pop culture in general, I'm going to be expanding my repertoire into such things like what's going on with Jada Will Smith and Chris Rock. And so if you have a topic that you want me to cover, you want my opinion on it, please do, because I have lots and lots of opinions.
Oh, yeah. You think dude's got opinions now? Oh, you just wait until you go onto his channel, guys. I am so certain that you're definitely going to enjoy that. I've already noticed Sarai saying that she's already subbed. So that's brilliant. I noticed a couple of you guys have also said that you subbed as well, such as Stephanie. So yeah, all the nerds assemble. Keep that coming. Let's invade his channel and help him onto his way to YouTube success, because his videos, he does his research, guys. He knows what he's talking about. He talks from a place of knowledge. He has Nate on quite a few times, and we love Nate as well. Friend at channel, friend at Popcorn Planet community. Freaking hell yeah! As I always say, we lift each other up. We don't tear each other down, because that's just not the way we roll. So here we are doing that for each other, because that's the way it's supposed to go on YouTube as far as I'm concerned. And if you loved me, and you haven't done so already, and why haven't you? What the frick? Make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe. Help us get to 100k so I can get that silver play button right there. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatevers, with whatever myself and Dragnot have been discussing today. Also, as well, do make sure you send me a super thanks, which you can access in the video below here. Let's have a conversation about this further, because it does guarantee a response from me. And with that being said, Dragnot, any final words before we sign off for today?
Oh, no, thank you. It's been very, very enjoyable. I appreciate it. And if you and the folks want me back, hey, y'all know what to do. Bug Steph, preferably with boozy bucks. But yes, hey, just ask and I shall return. Kind of like Beetlejuice.
Well, we definitely know you'll be returning. Watch out for next week. Dragnot and I will sync up our times again, and we will do that video for you guys, which I'll be looking forward to. So thank you so much for all your support and helping us to get to that point. But do you know what? That is it. It is now 9:45 in the evening. I'm going to start getting ready for bed. My second full week of Popcorn Planet begins from tomorrow. Dragnot, I'm sure you're busy tomorrow doing things, so yeah, looks like we're going to get some sleep. So guys, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you all. Thanks for donating. Thanks for joining. Thanks for subscribing, liking, sharing, all that good stuff. But until the next time, you guys, laters! Bye!
Later.